Well, folks, good evening. Hello. Welcome to Lions of the Desert podcast. I'm Shoeshine Mike. We're on a little journey tonight. I've got my final mock draft coming up, but very important here and good news. Detroit Coney Grill, okay, over there on 6953 North Hayden Road in Scottsdale, beautiful Scottsdale. It's always nice there. We're going to do the draft live right from there. Now, it's also, um, there's also the Detroit Pistons are playing New York Knicks that night too. So we'll have a couple of things really going that night. I hope you would try to enjoy it. It's going to be a good time. And I promise you that. Before we get started the podcast, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Number one, new one, QB Development, Quality Builders Development Incorporated. And this is probably one of the coolest things ever. I get to do their stuff. And anyway, I had it all set, and now I don't have it all set. Anyway, call Barty, call Brad. They're very good. They'll take anywhere you want. It could be residential, it could be business, okay? And they will complete a design for you per your wishes. You know, I love their little slogan. Your dream is come see us. You know, your job is to come see us about your dream. Our job is to fulfill it. Our faith-based, wonderful organization. They're very good people, easy to get along with. They're located right there, right around the corner, actually, from Detroit Coney Grill, 8165 East Indian Bend Road, Suite 103 in Scottsdale. The phone number is 602-830-9755. Go to www.qbdevelopment.com, set up an appointment, give them a call. These are really wonderful people, and I've known Brad and Barty for quite a while. They're not only really good friends, they work very hard, you know, and everything is a glory to them. Everything is hard work to them. Quality builders. I've seen their work. They're absolutely incredible. They really are. They're absolutely incredible. You bring a design to them. They talk to you. They go through every step with you, everything from the idea to the completion to watching them getting it done. You know, you're right hands-on if you wish to be. I've never seen builders, right? These guys are builders, and they just build, and I've seen their work, and you know, it would be the place to go. It really would. If you have a new, say you just retired and you got that spot in the house that you've wanted done, okay, go see Barty, go see the guys, QB Development. You know, if you have that, you'll have a new house. You'll have a project around the house. You have a project in your business. Say you want to put the new shelving up and you need a whole shelving outfit, what have you, and nice furniture and stuff. Go see QB Development. Once again, 8165 East Indian Bend Road, Suite 103 in Scottsdale, 602-830-9755. Go see them. Now, I have my other friends on the line here. Let me get a couple done here before we get started on all this, because it's too much fun. The Detroit Coney Grill. Now, they just opened one in Gilbert at 1644 West Warner Road. The phone number there is, I had it here somewhere. There it is, 480-272-9842. And then, of course, you got Detroit Coney Grill in Scottsdale. You can call ahead of time, and they'll have the food ready for you when you come pick it up. That's why I give the numbers. So, once again, the number for Scottsdale is 486-597-4300. 480, I said 6 because I can't write. 480-597-4300. And then Gilbert is 480-272-9842. One more before we get started. And Amy Quintana has started her business, right? JVN Cleaning. They're outstanding. She showed me a couple of the things that she works at and the jobs they've done. They do excellent work. Now, they don't want to do any residential cleaning for people who are living in a residence. But if you're getting ready to open your your house or anything like that, house cleaning, and what do you call those that you just rent out, BDVs or something like that. But anywhere they need cleaning, car dealerships, factories, restaurants, you need cleaning done, they're the one to call. And Amy just does excellent work. Amy Quintana, give her a call, right? She'll answer the phone right for you and set it all up for you at 480-845-2320. Now, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through the draft. This is my last piece of the draft, and I want to go through some of these picks. Some I thought, you know, we haven't done the trades. I'd like to do the one with the trades. I might do that Saturday after we do the Pistons game. I'm going to do the Pistons and Knicks live Saturday afternoon here. And that starts at 3 o'clock, so we'll be ready for you then. But also, you know, when you look at the draft this year, you've got a lot of trenches. A lot of the teams that picked in the trenches, my Detroit Lions are certainly no exceptions. I don't know if Desarius Smith is going to come back soon, but when you look at the defense that they have now, that little piece, maybe an extra linebacker, right? Because I think the cornerback role is set. Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed, right? Our new cornerback we just got from the New York Jets. I think they look good there. Of course, the safeties. Brian Branch, come on. Brian Branch is Kirby Joseph. Joseph led the league in interceptions last year. Brian Branch is just a ball hawk crazy man. I love this guy. He's good. He's got sacks. He'll play the safety blitz perfectly, and so that part is fine. But you look at the defensive line. Now we've got a couple of great defensive tackles. Lean McNeil, DJ Reader. Okay, you got Brock down, and you're looking for more. You need one more backup as far as concerned. So I know they'll figure that out in the draft. But the edge rusher is what's on everybody's mind. They have Marcus Davenport right now opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch's got to have a roommate. Hutch needs an animal roommate. And I'll show you that pick in just a little while when we get to number 28, the Detroit Lions. And yes, I did pick an edge rusher. And as a matter of fact, throughout the whole draft, I don't think they're going to stop there. I think they're going to pick up an extra one, too. We've always kind of had kind of a sparkle there, but we're actually pretty good. On the offensive side, maybe a wide receiver. I don't know what they want to do. There's been so many rumors running around about Jameson Williams being traded. No, they won't trade Jameson Williams. He's way too valuable. Of course, you got Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta. Tim Patrick has been re-signed. You got Jared Goff, and you got the best O-line in the league. So I wouldn't really worry about any of that, tell you the truth. So we'll look at the Lions and all the edge rushers and what have you. We'll start it off. You got the Tennessee Titans. The Titans lost to us badly last year. And very bad. We scored 52 points on them, and they need a new quarterback. Now, I'll go with a lot of the consensus in picking Cam Ward out of Miami. Very strong, prototype quarterback. Has good running. He'll run for the first down. You have that kind of thing. My only thing I'm thinking about, they just might get Shedeur. They might get Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. They might just make that flip. Now, if that happens, of course, it blows the whole draft. Everything just goes pick, pack, whip, pack, goes crazy. And I'll see that. But I'm going to stick right now with the safe pick, Cam Ward from Miami. It might be good, might not. Now, Cleveland, if they do pick somebody, I'm going with the edge rusher, Abdul Carter from Penn State. I've watched him play. He's a monster. He truly is. That's one dream I have of the Lions go up and give Cleveland what they want. First round pick this year, next year, second round this year, second round next year. But get that number 2. If we can get Abdul Carter, that would be outstanding. But Cleveland needs their edge rushers. Myles Garrett needs a roommate too, right? So you look at that. Cleveland, they're like the Detroit Lions, right? What we used to be like. And you're always waiting for the other shoe to fall. You're waiting for the disappointments. You're waiting for them to lose in the last couple of seconds of the game. I know the feeling too many times. One that got me is I remember we first drafted DeAndre Swift, and we were playing the Bears, and Stafford put a ball right on DeAndre Swift in the end zone to win that game, and he dropped it. Yeah, I remember that. You can't get too many. So Cleveland, and we're used to that kind of. That's happened to the Lions a lot, and the really exciting ones like with Dallas, and Stafford spiked the ball over to win the game with 52 seconds ago and went down the field and got that. So sometimes it's been exciting. Most of the time, pretty disappointing, but not now. I've heard so many people say, yeah, they lost to Washington. They lost to the Redskins. And I'm going, when you got 21 defensive players on the DL, you're not going to win anything. And I think everybody knew that, but they did their best. In the meantime, we were still 15-2. Tell me if you're in your lifetime you saw them at 15-2, because you didn't. The Lions had never been 15-2, and the first round seed. I think they'll repeat that this year. I just have that feeling. We got new coaches, and John Morton as the defensive coordinator, and I think he's going to do just fine. And Shepard as the defensive coordinator. I think these guys are going to do just fine. Because Ben Johnson went to Chicago, and he's going to have his hands full. He's going to have his hands full, and he knows it. Aaron Glenn went to the New York Jets, and I think he was kind of pissed that we took off his cornerback, the really good one, J.D. Reed there. So when I look at the Lions, I would leave the offense alone. Maybe get another lineman. maybe another tight end, okay, just for the heck of it. But as far as everything else, no, I see it. It's pretty good. The O line is fine. Oh wow, the O line is just fine. The running backs, you got Montgomery, and you got Gibbs. So you got Sonic and Knuckles. You got Sam Laporta, Amon St. Brown, Tim Patrick, and Jameson Williams as receivers. Jared Goff is playing out of his mind. He's playing the best he has been, they say, since LA. I think he's better than when he was in LA. I think he's doing very, very well on all that points. So Cleveland, hang tight. I know what it's like to lose, and they're going to it. Now, New York Giants. Now, the big word out is they say the best player in the draft is, to me, it's Abdul Carter, but other people are saying it's Travis Hunter from Colorado. And he was excellent. He's a cornerback and a wide receiver. He has come out lately and saying that he wants to be both or don't bother drafting him. He wants to stay in that 2-point system. Apparently, it just works for him fine. I can see the Giants doing that because they need help at both places, right? They're just crazy right now. I can see the Giants doing that. So Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver, to the Giants. So that's not a bad pick. Here's where it comes fun now. The New England Patriots at number 4 are going to take a tackle, and they're going to take a great tackle. And his name is Will Campbell, and he's from LSU. He's from the Tigers down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And this guy's going to be a monster. He could play either left or right tackle. Doesn't matter. I fit him in the mold, seriously, of a Penei Sewell. He's that big. He's that hungry. I will look at him that fine. And I very rarely will ever put anybody in Penei Sewell's class. He's the best there is going. So we'll look at that. And then number 5, Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs someone to protect, our little quarterback back there. And the one I think is what they're going to pick out. They're going to go for the defense. They're going for a man of the blue. I'm going to see Mason Graham, defensive lineman from Michigan, going with Jacksonville. And I think it would just be a good fit for them. They do need some defense. They do need some nasty there. That would be very good. Good tackler, good solid. Takes up the space. Would you agree with me on that? He takes up the space. And it's just a fine tackle. I like that. I like that pick. Mason Graham from Michigan, go blue, defensive lineman, extraordinaire, as it were. And I'll take this time to say hello to some more friends. Arrowhead BMW has some good people. I do their shoes. I know them personally. And number 1, I got Cole Lauderman, who's the internet manager. Now, if you call, don't call, just go to airheadbmw.com and Cole will respond, or give him a call. I'll give you numbers in a moment. But he's the one that does all the internet work. He looks over the people that does it. He does a lot of it himself. He's very successful at it, very successful, and loves the podcast. And he's been a main listener since the podcast started a couple of years ago. Listens to all the Lions game. Not even a Lions fan. He just loves the energy of us doing live play-by-play for Detroit Coney Grill, which will start soon. I cannot wait. I can't. Preseason starts in August this year. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm really glad for that. We need to get through August. The only hard time we'll have is July, right? Because we'll have the schedule coming out. Training camps will be in June. Then we're dead in July for 30 days, and nothing really happening. But we'll keep it going anyway. We'll probably be covering a lot of other things, mostly the Tigers at that point in space and time. So Cole Lauderman, the internet manager at Arrowhead BMW at 309-339-1844. Such a good guy. You'll enjoy him. Eric Barrera, Eric Barrera. A very smooth guy. Always in control. Knows his cars backwards and forwards. And just so excellent at customer relationships. He just is. I've watched him in action. He treats people well. Great radio, great telephone voice, and being able to answer any question you would have about the BMW of your choice, whether it's, the gas cars, the electric cars. They have the X35s, which are just beautiful. And give Eric a call, too. If you're in that market for BMW, this is the man to call. Eric Barrera, 480-486-4270. That's 480-486-4270. And one more, Paul Kenner. And Paul Kenner is a younger man, but he's very ambitious. He's an ambitious kid. He really is. And he has a really stylish shoes. He wears really stylish stuff. He looks good. Easy to talk to. We'll do anything to help you get that new car or certified pre-owned with a 172-point inspection at Arrowhead BMW. They're building a new refurbishing section out there, refurbishing body shop. It's going to be cool. I promise you that. So do me a favor, give Paul a call at 480-334-8878. And let's get back to work on the draft. We were at number 6. The Oakland Raiders. They will never be the Las Vegas Raiders to me. I go back old school, and this is the way it is. I'm 73 years old. I like the old names. I like the old stuff. But you got the Raiders, but they are in Las Vegas now. Easier assets from Arizona if you're a Raiders fan. So the Raiders, now they need a running back. They're going for Ashton Jenney from Boise State, and I don't blame them. If you've watched this guy run, you've got another Jamar Gibbs on your hands. You know, he cuts, he moves, he gets to the yardage that you need. He's small and he's strong. You know, everything that we got. I think we set an example for a lot of different positions. Sam Laporta as a tight end, Jahmyr Gibbs as one running back, David Montgomery is the power rusher. You just got it all set up. But this guy does look that good. And little Boise State, and people ignore that. I've got a pick from a school that a lot of people wouldn't think about. They've had their stars out of there before, but it's not thought of when the draft begins. It's always the big schools, you know, like the greatest college on earth, Michigan, and then the other ones in line after that. So, but I like that. Ashton Jenney, running back for the Raiders. The Jets now. The Jets, I like for them to pick whichever quarterback they have. Not really sure who they're having right now. I got to go with Armand Membo out of Missouri. This guy is big. He is strong. He can play right or left tackle. Like I said, a lot of trenches are going, and a lot of people have, a lot of the guys going into college now have built them up to play in the trenches, and you've got to love that. So there's Membo at number 7 for the Jets. The Panthers need a wide receiver. They're going with our boy McMillan from Arizona. Not a bad pick whatsoever. I see him as a good slot or an open runner. He runs good routes. He cuts beautifully. I've watched Arizona, of course, play. And there you go. You got Mr. McMillan from Arizona. The Saints at number 9. They're going for the tight end, Tyler Warren from Penn State, who's a big tight end, really strong. I would put him more in the Brock Wright sort of category, a great blocking tight end, and I think which is really smart for them to get one. They haven't had one in quite a while since Mr. Graham left. Jimmy Graham was one of the best tight ends ever playing for the Saints. But Tyler Warren can be the guy for them at tight end. I like that pick right there. And number 10 for the Bears, who I don't care about at all. But I think, Ben Johnson's going to have his stuff, but I think he's going to go for an edge rusher. They need a good edge rusher. I'm going to go with Mike Green out of Marshall for the Bears. I don't think they're going to do anything this year. I think the Lions, of course, will repeat as the division champs. They're just too strong over the other 3 teams. They just really are. Minnesota fell apart in that last game. The Packers are so-so. They're so-so. They've never had an O-line. Everything else is set up. They need an O-line for the Packers. And then, the Bears. They're the Bears. What can I say? They'll be all right because they got Ben Johnson. But I don't think it's going to really implement for a year or two. It's a new coach. It's new stuff. A lot of new players. So let's go to number 11. Let's go to the San Francisco 49ers, and they have picked a good one. Jaden Barrow, cornerback from Texas. They lost a lot of players this year. They need their cornerbacks back. They need some of the defense coming back up because the Niners aren't going to be all that hot this year like everybody thinks. They're going to be having a bit of a hard time. And a cornerback would be really, really good for the 49ers. It'd be a good move for them to make. And it's not a bad move, to tell you the truth. The Cowboys. Who cares? No one cares about the Cowboys. The only way the Cowboys will ever improve in this day and age is for Jerry Jones, the owner, to fire Jerry Jones, the general manager. Get a GM in there that can work with the coach, right? You got young Schottenheimer in there now and as another coach. And you know that he's going to do nothing but the bidding of one said Jerry Johnson. He's just got to do that. He's just got to stop. He's driving everybody crazy. People don't know what he's going to do next. He loves to be on every talk show in the entire world. And I think that's all he really wants. But I would love for him to just let people do their jobs. Mike McCarthy was a good coach. And, but you could tell the influence from the front office is constantly over their backs. I think it's a paranoid way to make a living, right? But they'll pick anyway, right? They'll get a wide receiver, Luther Borden III from Missouri. Now this is a Borden, Luther Borden, a wide receiver from Missouri. Another one, the third. He's the third now. Cuts the routes, but runs the long pass beautifully. Eventually he could be as fast. He could, if he learns the routes and works with the quarterback, works with Dak Prescott, he just might be able to get some really, really good catches. And I think it's a big improvement for them to take another wide receiver. Another team that we beat the crap out of last year, the Cowboys, and it'll just be fun to watch. I go to the Dolphins. Cornerback, Will Johnson of the Blue. An excellent cornerback. He got a little injured towards the end of the year, which amazed all of us because without Loveland and without Johnson, we beat Ohio State and we beat Alabama. Two really good teams in a row. Ohio State was favored by 22 points over us, and Alabama, I think, was a 12-point favor over Michigan, and we still beat both of them. And that's the grit. I love Sherman Moore as the coach there, and you can tell that because a lot of the blue are being drafted this year and at very, very good positions. They got a good one in Will Johnson. They really do. The Michigan boys strikes again. Now, we go to the Colts. They're good. I'm calling edge James Pierce Jr. because he's still there. I was looking at him for the Lions. He has a little background. Can we use that? Little background. It doesn't look good to a lot of people. And I personally really don't care. He seems like he'd be good. He's an animal. He's an animal. I would love to have James Pierce Jr. with the Lions just playing football and not having any other business in it because he would be, the right edge. You have Aiden there. You have him. You have Marcus Davenport, DJ Reader, Elaine McNeil. You can put all of them on that line because right behind them, man, you got Campbell. All right. And Campbell as the linebacker. And you got good stuff there. So the Lions defense will be much, much improved. They're doing what they're supposed to do in getting backups. But back to work now. James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee would be the guy. For them. The Colts will take him and be very happy with him. We got the Falcons at linebacker with Jaleel Campbell out of Alabama. I believe in the art of Alabama and their players, and Iowa and their tight ends. Alabama linebackers have been absolutely fantastic lately. We got a linebacker from Iowa, which is cool, but we also got a tight end from Iowa. But I see this as a real improvement for the Falcons. I think they'll win their division again this year. The Falcons are taking it. Atlanta's just ready to go. And I like this. Jaleel Campbell from Alabama. So, all right, that leaves us at number 15. I'm going to go back to a little bit of hello, friendly persuasion, and talk about a buddy of mine at Marquia over off Indian Bend and the 101. And Marquia has been there for a long time. They've always had good business. And this is my friend Robbie Lemon. And we have a lot of fun because he's an LA Rams fan. And he can't take the way the Lions have been beating the Rams lately, which last year's first game, that Sunday night game, the David Montgomery show, if I may, was just excellent in overtime on the first drive. They've changed that rule now. If one team scores a touchdown, the other team will have a chance to come back. That overtime rule has been changed, and I think it's only fair. I really, truly do. Too many times someone scored a touchdown, not giving the other team a chance to come back. But back to Robbie Lemon from St. Louis, a really pleasant guy. Just an easygoing, pleasant guy. A good personality, talks well to people, knows his stuff. Robbie Lemon knows his stuff. He's over there at Marquia. Give Robbie a call if you are looking for a good Kia. The Kia Soul is still one of the best sellers going, and I would figure that one. That'd be 480-406-2011. 480-406-2011. And that would be a wonderful person to talk to. Robbie Lemon is a personality and a half. And I think that's probably why we get along so well. I have a bit of a personality, but he has a great one. And just a real good handshaker, knows his business. I think I judge him on the fact that all his coworkers love him. All his coworkers go to him. All his workers trust him. And that's hard to find in a car dealership or in any business. I tended bar and waited tables for years, and it was always nagging thoughts. Who's out to get me today? All right. That doesn't happen there at Marquia. They're wonderful people. Josh Spencer runs a good joint. And of course, Mike. Mark is just really, really good. And I really liked him so much because he loved my dog, Shiner. And when I put him down, he actually called me that night and said, "Are you okay? I know the pain. of losing your pet. And that's why Marquee is high on my list of wonderful places. Robbie Lemon, St. Louis Rams fan, LA Rams fan. Call him and give him heck just for being a Rams fan. That number one more time, 480-406-2011. I'm going to take a quick break right now. I promise I'll be right back. Just got to hit the little boys' room, and everything is set up. We'll start getting, and we'll finish up the rest of the draft. I'll be right back. Ow. Thank you. It was only a few seconds here. It was gone like that. We were at number 15. Yes, the Falcons taking Jaleel Campbell, which I said I thought was a really, really good move on their part. That's a good pick right there. You go to number 16. Once again, you got a man of the blue. All right. Number 16 is the Arizona Cardinals. This is a very, very good pick. Um, they have picked up some good guys, and the Cardinals are going to look a lot better. Defensive lineman Kenneth Grant from Michigan, the blue, another man of the blue. And of course, him with Graham, they were outstanding in the last couple of games. They were good all year. These are two really good defensive linemen. And I think the Cards were really lucky. If he falls to that spot and they don't take him and he's open, it kind of hurts. But I like Gannon as a coach down there for the Cardinals. And I think this is a very, very, very good pick for Arizona. Okay, and then let's go to the Bengals at number 17. Now they need help in the back. They need help in the back of the defense. I like to call on safety, and I like Maliki Starks from Georgia. Maliki Starks, I watched him play in the playoffs and what have you, and he's a ball hawk. He's really, really good. Maybe it's just me, but a notch below Kirby Joseph. Okay, gets his interceptions. He doesn't fight for them like Kirby does, but he gets his interceptions. He's a ball hawk. He reads the field very well. He can read a quarterback real well. A good safety for Cincinnati, and Maliki Starks out of Georgia. Number 18, you got the Seahawks here, and they need a wide receiver. So they go to that state down south. You know which one I'm talking about. Them dang boys down south, and Ohio State will give them Emeka Ibuka. I think I'm saying that right. Emeka Ibuka, good wide receiver out of Ohio State. Couldn't do anything against Michigan, but that's neither here nor there. Still a good wide receiver for them. I think that's a good call for them. So Seahawks, pardon me. Yeah, the Seahawks need that. So now we're at the Bucks. 19, the Bucks. Tight end, Colson Loveland, University of Michigan. You don't have to say anymore. He's a very good tight end. He's caught most of the passes with the quarterbacks. He made Warren look good. He made the quarterbacks look good because he was in the right spot at the right time, going for it. And because we had some problems with quarterback at Michigan, I think Bruce Underwood will change all that real quick. At number 20, we got the Broncos. This is an interesting pick. I really like this pick they got here. The Broncos have a good team now, and you got Peyton, the coach. You got good people playing. You got Bo Nix playing his lights out down there in Denver. But he needs somebody to run the ball. They're taking Orleans Hampton out of Boston College, BC. This is North Carolina. But Hampton out of North Carolina, a killer running back, a monster. He's a big boy. He runs well. I see him run like some of the bigger running backs in the league. I really do. Just a big guy. And if he works out right and pounds his way through, I think you've got a good running back there in Hampton out of North Carolina. We go to the Steelers. Now, the Steelers going to make the magic pick that everyone's been wondering about where this guy was going to go. We all know Deion Sanders has a son who's a quarterback and at Colorado, and he's played very well. He's needed some help along the way. They didn't have too good of a defense or offensive line sometimes, this year especially. But I think this kid is special. I would not be surprised, to be honest with you, in my call. I think I mentioned that earlier, to see him go to Tennessee. I can see Tennessee trying to develop this kid. But I see the Steelers needing a good quarterback. Russell Wilson, they don't know what the hell Aaron Rodgers is going to do, And he's in darkness again. I'll wait till after the draft or I make a decision. I have to go do my meditating. And everyone's really tired of it, me especially. And don't forget that Aaron Rodgers' last throw, his last pass in Lambeau Field, went into the arms of Kirby Joseph. Just a good trivia question in the future. And I'll be ready for it if anybody wants to come with me on it. The little Broncos, though, the Steelers will take quarterback, Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. They've got the receivers, they've got the line, they've got everything else in there, but they need someone to throw the ball. Russell Wilson throws the ball. I think that he's not there. Justin Fields, they're playing all this with all these quarterbacks. Get someone who's young, get someone who's good, and trade and put him in. Have you noticed that the Steelers have not had a really good quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger? period. And that's been a while. All right. So it's about time for him to get back on the thing. The Chargers. At Chargers at number 22, an outstanding defensive lineman and Walter Nolan from Mississippi. This guy's a beast. This guy is the one you want. It's a very good choice. If it's there, you got Jim Harbaugh down there now. You got Bobby Herbert. You got good receivers, Allen Robinson left, or what have you. But these are the guys that they need, and I think this is a very, very good choice for the Chargers because you'll see them being different. You'll see them being strong. Now the Packers, the Packers need somebody on the O line. They really do, but I'm not picking that for them, because they never pick good offensive linemen. They have a few in the world and what have you, but they need an O-line now. But they're going for an edge. They're going for Donovan Ezerico from Boston College. And okay, we'll have to go along with that because that's the guy, right? Donovan Ezerico, an edge rusher. Then you've got another NFC North team, the Vikings, at number 24. Linebacker Jalen Walker, Texas A&M. Oh, Georgia, pardon me, out of Georgia. Jalen Walker is a great linebacker. He's very strong. He's a Jack Campbell kind of linebacker. He'll go right through the whole line, and he will hit a quarterback hard. He's a good player. You've got a good pick right there. And that's just the Vikings need a good linebacker. The Lions just slapped the heck out of them every time we win. That last game last year, that Week 18, the build-up, the number 1 seed or number 5 against the Rams, the build-up, and they couldn't do nothing. I have never seen something like that. It was such a big build-up game, and all they could score was field goals. That was just so amazing. I mean, they couldn't throw anything in the red zone. Good Lord, Brian Robinson covering Justin Jefferson like that. It was just an amazing game, and I think I might watch that tonight before I go to bed because it was such a good game. I might go with that one. Anyway, the Vikings linebacker, Jalen Walker from Georgia, I can see them going for him there. It'd be a good call. At number 25, Texas. The Texans. Houston. They're going to go for a tackle. I see them taking Kevin Banks out of Texas. They're going to go home. They're going to stay in the house. This is a very good tackle. Kevin Banks, he would be very good for the Houston Texans. And I have to say, we were at Coney Grill last year. We were calling the Texans game. Everybody saw the interceptions Goffin made. And 2 were actual interceptions. The other 3 were volleyball games. But they blame the quarterback for that and give him interception, which is not cool to me. But then I look at Houston, and they played a great game. They did. It was a good game. I mean, the Lions won on that field goal. But I also saw it was a Sunday night game, and it was going late, and people were leaving, and they kind of thought the Lions would lose because it looked like they would. They scored the last 13 points, came up, tied it up. And my man, Jake Bates is just really brought a life to that team as far as a kicking team. And I'm so glad we got a good kicker. 58 yards, doesn't matter to him. He'll pop it right in. And I love it. All right, we're at number 25. We're going to finish up in a few moments here. I'm going to go to Hyundai. Over there in Piedmont Indian School. Now you got Chapman Hyundai. Some wonderful people in there. Sean Sakari, he's a good friend. He works hard. He's just a bright, energetic young man. Give him a call at 602-358-3206. Talk to him about Hyundais that they have, right? They always have good deals down there. It's a really good store. They're very busy. You got Matthew Burgess, you got Andres Lassa as the general managers. You got good people working there. You really would like it there. So that's John Sakara, 602-358-3206. Maurice Bembry, he's the jiu-jitsu guy I tell you about now. He's going to be on my regular radio show sometime in May when we can make the appointment. So for him to be on to talk about that, but he's also an excellent car salesman, right? Keeps him afloat, keeps the world afloat because he's a good salesman and he sells cars. Give Maurice a call at 602-824-8035. 602-824-8035. One thing about that, too, when you meet Maurice, right, a good handshake, he's strong, a good handshake, but looks the part of a wrestler. He just looks the part of a wrestler, ready to go. Maurice Bembry, 602-824-8035. Dan McClear, easygoing, been in the business for a long, long time. knows how to make a deal, knows how to make you comfortable. Dan is a nice guy, easygoing, um, pretty witty guy. He's like I said, he'll talk to you nice and easy, and all you can do is when you go in for a car, is just sit with him, enjoy your experience with working with Dan McClure, a really good man. His number is 919-358-6354. Okay, just a really outstanding man. I really like this guy. And then right next to him is the VW, Chapman VW. Two of my favorite people in the world, right next to each other, kind of like partners. You got Nettie Davenport. Nettie is your girl next door who is just wonderful. All right, just a girl next door. I'm positive she's the one to watch your kids. She's the one to help you in the yard. She's the one to run over your house with the recipe and share it with you and just have a good time. Nettie is just cool, and I love her to death. But she also knows how to sell those VWs, those I-49s, right? I love my old Beetle Bug and everything. We went to a Grateful Dead concert a couple of months ago in a big old VW Bug from the old days, and we loved it. Right? You're doing 42 miles down on the freeway, no one cared. It was it was a lot of fun. So that's my Nettie Davenport, pardon me, at 520-213-1421. 520-213-1421. And then Lester Paredes. Lester is such a cool guy. He does speak Spanish. So if you're Spanish speaking, you want to talk about a VW, go see Lester. Very easygoing, very knowledgeable, really knowledgeable inside and out on every car that he sells. And, with all the new tech coming into cars and stuff like that, he explains it very well, piece by piece by piece, so you really understand. If Lester's your salesperson, Nettie's your salesperson, these two, you always leave with a good feeling when you buy a car from one of these two. Lester's number, 480-295-5093. 480-295-5063. Okay, and we're all set with that. Now, back to the drafts, because we were at 25, and we're getting down to the end here. The Texans picked Kevin Banks. Now, the next, excuse me, the next batch, they were all in the playoffs, okay? They all have really good teams, or they wouldn't have been where they went. But they're all always looking for something extra, okay? And I think this pick for the Rams at number 26 is wide receiver Kevin Banks out of Texas. All right, you know that Cooper Kupp is gone. You still have Puka Nacua, and you need another wide receiver. Three good ones generally is the way to go. Kevin Banks out of Texas, a good pick for the Rams as far as I am concerned here. Knows his routes. I've watched him at Texas because we played Texas. Michigan played Texas. And I watched a Texas game, and he was always on the outside getting that ball. So that's a good one there. Then you got another good edge rusher, the Baltimore Ravens, picking up edge rusher Michael Williams from Georgia. The guy is good, right? Now we're all talking about edges. The edges are coming up right now. I'm telling you what, because all these big teams know what they need to have, and they're picking up the trenches, right? Pretty much trenches except for one. So you're looking at Michael Williams. He went to Georgia. Georgia, always known now as a powerhouse, a very strong powerhouse, and you've got to like that. That's always good. The Ravens do good. They need a good edge. They'll get him. Number 28, my Detroit Lions. Have they not traded up? Now I kind of expect the Lions. You might trade up like they did last year, and I traded up, got Terrion Arnold, and traded with Dallas, and we got a good cornerback out of that. I don't know if they don't trade up. I like Shamar Stewart, pardon me, out of Texas A&M as an edge. We will all watch Texas A&M. His partner's right below him with the Redskins, Nick Scowerton. But I like this pick of Sheldon Stewart. He would be a good man on that line, good edge rusher. And that would be a really good pick. He's big, strong, and will fly through that line like a man, I'll tell you what. The Redskins, edge, Nick Scowerton from Texas A&M. They've been having a good time with the A&M down there. They've been putting together some pretty good teams, and I like that. I like that a lot, picking another edge. Then we go to the Buffalo Bills. Now, this is the one I said wouldn't be trenches. It's a safety. Nick Amararui out of South Carolina. you go down there to Death Valley and you watch South Carolina play. They always had good defenses, and the old Bolt coach would have loved this guy, Nick Imanaroki. There we go, Imanaroki, safety from South Carolina. He would be a good guy there. And then you have the Chiefs and Philly, the ones who are in the Super Bowl. At number 31, the Chiefs will take tackle Josh Simmons out of that place down south. That school down south, he's a good tackle. He would be just fine with Kansas City Chiefs. And then Philly is another tackle, Gary Zabel, out of North Dakota State. Now, this is when I was talking about a small college. North Dakota State needs to be looked at more. Some of those colleges out west there, Mountain West, kind of take a look at them. They play some ferocious football. Let's watch Wyoming and Montana play. These are big cornbread boys out there. I've watched Gary Zabel. Josh Simmons from Ohio State is good too. But this pick by either the Chiefs or Philly is very, very good, and you can't help but love it. Okay, a quick summation. All right, Tennessee with Cam Ward, Cleveland with Abdul Carter. The New York Giants will take Travis Hunter from Colorado, and New England will take Will Campbell from LSU. Jacksonville, they'll have Mason Graham out of Michigan. Then we have the Raiders grabbing Ashton Jeuny out of Boise State. The Jets with Armand Membu from Missouri, big tackle. The Panthers, wide receiver McMillan from Arizona. And then you got the Saints with Tyler Warren from Penn State. The Bears taking Mike Green from Marshall. And, we'll see how Ben Johnson likes that pick. He likes pretty clean guys. The 49ers, Jaden Barrow from Texas, the cornerback. The Cowboys, wide receiver, Luther Bowden III from Missouri. The Dolphins, cornerback, Will Johnson, the Blue, Michigan, the team. Colts, with an edge, James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. The Falcons, Jalid Campbell, Alabama. I talked about him. I think he's going to be a star in this league. The Cardinals pick Kenneth Grant from Michigan, defensive lineman. The Bengals with safety, Malachi Starks from Georgia. The Seahawks will take Igbeka. I can't talk, from Ohio State, a wide receiver. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tight end, Colston Loveland from the Blue. Good pick for a tight end. He's a good tight end. The Broncos running back, Hampton from North Carolina. He's going to be another power back. The Steelers, cornerback, Shedeur Sanders, once again from Colorado. This is going to be a good pick. I'm not really sure. I think it might go higher in the draft here. But for right now, yeah, it's good for Pittsburgh to have him there. That's not a bad call at all. Then the Chargers with Walter Nolan, defensive lineman from Mississippi, one of my real favorites here. The Packers go with Donovan Ezeriku from Boston College. The Vikings, Jalen Walker from Georgia, linebacker. Texans would tackle Kevin Banks from Texas, another good pick there, keeping it in the home state. The Rams with wide receiver Kevin Banks from Texas. The Ravens, edge rush, Michael Williams from Georgia. The Detroit Lions, once again, champions of the NFC North. No one knows it better. No one knows it better. The Detroit Lions take edge rusher Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M. The Redskins grab edge Nick Scourton, also from Texas A&M. The Bills with safety Nick Amaroki from South Carolina. The Chiefs would tackle Josh Simmons from Ohio State. And Philly, a tackle with Mr. Zig Cow, all right, from North Dakota State. Let me once again mention a couple of things, but one, let's go back over some things coming up here. Now, I'll be on Saturday afternoon. It'll be my next podcast, pardon me, and it will be during the Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks game. I want to call that game. I love calling a live game. And this will be the first time the Pistons been in the playoffs for quite a while. I don't want to miss it. Now, on the 24th, next Thursday, a week from tonight, we'll be at the Detroit Coney Grill doing the draft live. Okay, come down, have something to eat, enjoy the draft. Come on the podcast. I love people coming up and talking on the podcast, talking football with me, especially all the picks and the Lions picks and how we're doing. So we'll finish up with that. I've got a couple more messages, and then we'll call it quits for the evening. But those couple of more. This final one here, and I just love these guys. Right Honda, my buddy Gibby. All right, now Gibby's been in the sales business, car business, 20 years? Probably about a good 20 years, right? So easy to talk to. Such a good guy. Give Gibby a call at Right Honda. The pilot is waiting for you, okay? No co-pilot necessary with the Honda Pilot. Call Gibby at 602-369-4530. All right. It's just a good guy. Hunter Bridgman is going to go somewhere in this world. I like this guy. I take good care of his shoes, and he's really fine. It's one of those gentleman types. Total gentleman. Tall, strong, stature. Hunter Bridgman, the stature guy. And 614-974-8770. 614-974-8770. Just a really, Hunter looks like his name, Hunter Bridgman, right? There's one thing. You look at this guy, the guy looks like his name, Hunter Bridgman. Yes, indeed. All right. And then we got my buddy Rocky. Rocky's a little older. He's been taking care of his dad. He's one of those people who takes care of people. He's a very natural human being, just easygoing, very natural, very warm person. Really loves to hear people talking about where they're at, what's coming on. And you get Rocky, get a new Honda, used Honda, whatever, from our boy Rocky. 602-348-0673. 602-348-0673. I want to thank everybody, all my subscribers, QB Development of Scottsdale, JVN Cleaning with my lady friend, a good friend of mine, Amy Quintera, and of course, Dave Nager, Detroit Coney Grill, who allows me to do this. I remember the first time I did this, I walked up and I said to him, I said, David, I thought about having a podcast, and I'm on the radio already. And he knew that. He listened to we've been friends for years. And I remember when he opened his first Detroit Coney Grill down there on Broadway and Hardy. And I stopped by only because I saw Detroit Coney Grill and said, they better be good. They better be as good as Lafayette Coney Dog back in Detroit. And they are. And the better made potato chips, the Fagel Rock and Rye. Werner's Ginger Ale. We got the whole schmear down there, folks. And he's giving me my start in podcasting. And we have a ball down there at Detroit Coney Grill. So if you're not doing anything next Thursday night, please stop by, have your dinner, have some Coney dogs, and oh my God, everything else. The burgers are fantastic. The Detroit pizza, a beautiful menu, and great people. And just really there. So we're at 6953 North Hayden Road, just short of Indian Bend, there in the Gateway Shopping Center. It's been a real pleasure doing my draft for y'all and having you watching Lions of the Desert podcast. Do me a wonderful favor. Tune in Saturday at 3 o'clock for game time with the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. It's all been very good. And as I always end with you, listen to my radio show on KFNX too every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., the Shoeshine Mike Radio Hour, brought to you by Arrowhead BMW of Glendale. And we have a lot of fun on that show too. We talk about everything. The editorials, if the shoe fits, then I get to say what I think about anything. It's my show. So I get to do that. So in the meantime, have a good evening. Have a good day. Just enjoy everything you're doing and keep loving with all your heart and soul our Detroit Lions. Good night.